This company stands for freedom and independence. Times are difficult, but we want to show you how you can act independently and take your life in your own hands. Wherever you are, whatever you do, Freebay will show you the right way. Be a part of us and let your adventure begin with Freebay.
Hello everybody and welcome to another training session from Freebay. I want to welcome everybody here on a next amazing training session, and as you know already, this week on our training calls, our focus will be on our partner platforms and partner company. We want to show you today more details about our products and our partner companies. So it will be another exciting and amazing lesson today. And also we have today another amazing guest speaker, and I don't want to talk too much because we have big content to deliver. So let us start now, and now I want you to introduce our first guest speaker for today. And it's a pleasure that he is speaking to us tonight. And our focus today will be on our academy and also on our trading platform. And to become successful and to develop yourself, you need to train yourself. And you also have to educate yourself. And there's nobody I know so far who can tell you more about education than our next guest speaker. So let me please introduce you today our guest speaker from Nashville, Tennessee, America, Dr. Patrice Gordon. Hello, Patrice. How are you today?
I am doing fine, Marcus. I'm elated to be with the Freebay family today. We're going to have a great time.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you today here on a call. And I don't want to talk too much, so I just pass over to you because you have a lot of things to say. And yeah, so Patrice, please start with your presentation. I'm very excited about your presentation. So I pass over to you. Thank you, Patrice.
Good. Thank you. Well, once again, Marcus, I'm just extremely excited to be with the global Freebay family from all over the world. And we're going to have a great time today. Most people know that I am a linguist. So I guess I'll start off with some greetings and some salutations. In English, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Uh, in Mandarin Chinese, Wan An, Zhao An, Wan An, Wu An. In Portuguese, bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite. In French, bonsoir, bonjour, bonne nuit. And the list goes on. In Russian, здравствуйте. I'm going to stop right there. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just so excited to be here today to share and to talk about education. That first slide right there, that's obviously trademark vintage Freebay. And it speaks of the freedom that we all are entering into, even in this current time, in this current season, as we know it and as we see it. But all that being said, I want to go through just a couple of slides and some ideas that I had, because I wanted to talk about the importance of education and continual learning. There is a very sacred text that said that we will know the truth and the truth will make us free. We like to say it will set us free, but you can set a person free. Say someone is in prison and you let them go, and then you look up and 30 days later they're right back incarcerated because there was not a process that took place within their mind that changed their behavior, that gave them the ability to see the need for change. So being made free is a process. Being set free can happen instantaneously. And that's what is actually what we're all experiencing here in Freebay as we move forward. So I want to move to the next slide that I wanted to talk about because I wanted to really bring us together mentally and help us to focus on what I'm sharing over the next couple of moments with you all today. But one of my greatest teachers is that beautiful lady that's right there in that picture with me. And that, as everyone knows, is my dear wife, Lady Lisa Mitchell Gordon. And I'm excited to be her partner in life. And we'll be celebrating by the end of the month, 27 years of being blissfully wedded together in marriage. So just wanted to give a shout out to my dear wife as we get started. I'm talking now about the benefits of education and lifelong learning. And here in Freebay, I think the thing that bespeaks of that more than anything imaginable has to do with the academy and all of the various aspects of our academy, where we're looking at, the academy that deals with the trading bot, or whether we're looking at the academy that's just generally speaking about us improving our skills in order to share our unique opportunity and this amazing global business with all of the people that we know here on the planet. And so training and education and learning is a lifelong process, ladies and gentlemen, and it's something that we really don't get too far away from. What kind of gives me a measure of credibility? Well, I wanted to show you the beautiful campus that I've spent my life on for the last 2 decades, educating the most talented youth all around the world that go to this amazing school right in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm there. If you see that big building in the background, that's my building. And I work in the Department of Languages, Literature, and Philosophy. I hold a PhD degree, a Master's of Public and International Affairs, and I've done a lot of things during the course of my lifetime. But one thing everybody that knows me know that I am an avid learner. And finally, I did have to introduce my dear friend, the Majorette from the amazing aristocrat of bands, ladies and gentlemen. There he is, leaping and flying through the air. And so let's move forward. In the wake of all of these years that I've been educating people, I often get the question, especially from young students that are coming in for a freshman class, and they want to learn to speak, Spanish or Russian, Chinese, or whatever. They always have this question, and the question is, so what is the simplest meaning of education? What does education really mean? Because there are just so many different answers that you can come to. But I wanted to make it simple. And of course, we know that particularly for the Romantic language, not romantic, but the Romantic languages, Latin is the one whereby many of our words are formed. And of course, when we're looking at the word of education, we have the Latin word educo, which means to draw out from within. And what's so powerful, if you believe the concept that we're all fearfully and wonderfully made, as the ancient text goes, it bears out the fact that when we're educating people, ladies and gentlemen, it's not so much that we're bringing something entirely new to them, which would be revelation, but taking the coordinates within inside of the mind and popping them into the right position in the same way that perhaps a master chiropractor would do, and to rearrange things so that the answers of our lives, for the most part, are on the inside of us already. It's just a matter of being taught knowledge in a systematic way that gives that student the ability to have an aha moment and say, oh, I see. And so, in short, ladies and gentlemen, what is education? It is the process, as we say, of facilitating learning, creating the environment for people to learn. And that starts from the time that we are teeny tiny toddlers running around in our parents' homes up until the point where, worst case scenario, we're spending our last days maybe in a hospital, a convalescent center, or a nursing home. But ladies and gentlemen, it's a process of always learning. It's about getting the acquisition of knowledge, of skills, of values, of beliefs, and of habits. And we can say that, and we can say it so fast that it kind of goes over our heads. But I want to communicate with you today. What we're talking about is helping people to understand, number one, what they know. What do you already know? Because that is a starting point. When we look at skills, we want to know, what do you do? What is your forte? What is your strong suit? What is your strength? Oh, values. We all know how important values are. Values are what really emanates from all of our respective communities. Businesses have values. We at Freebay, we have values. In your own social group, you have values. Values are really, it represents the things that are important to you. And then beliefs. How do you think? What do you think about? I love the great master motivational speaker, Bob Proctor, because he always says, remember, what you think about, you bring about, and it forms your beliefs. And then finally, your habits. And your habits are simply your customs. What are you rudimentarily doing throughout a given day, throughout a week? Where are the places that you visit? What are the shows that you watch online? Most of us, thank God, we don't watch too much television anymore because it's just simply someone else telling us their vision. But now your habits are becoming so very important. When I was doing my best to put together these thoughts, and I always lean heavily on my wife's inspiration. And she said, well, why don't you just share with people even what the benefits are up front so we can give people, a talking point. So as we move forward, they can see, hey, this is a reason why I want to be more considerate when it comes to thinking about engaging, perhaps in the academy, or engaging in more systematic study of whatever our particular interests are, ladies and gentlemen. So I just want to just enumerate these just for a brief moment. Of course, what are the benefits? Well, here are the benefits of lifelong learning or even gaining an education. And education comes in three different ways. You can have formal education, like sitting in a school. You can have non-formal education, the education we even sometimes get outside of the house or from the streets, whatever works. Or we can have non-formal education, where you're just sitting by, chatting with a friend inside of a coffee shop, ladies and gentlemen. But what are the benefits of education? Obviously, it nurtures our curious minds and it keeps you up with a constantly changing world. Ladies and gentlemen, what can we say? What can we make of 2020? It's changing. And every time you get used to something, then something else changes. When we consider even the quick upstart of the moving from our former last business exit to the one that we're engaged in now with Freebay, ladies and gentlemen, it speaks of a changing world. But also education, it builds new skills. And I love this. It improves those that we already have. When I came into the former company, I'm telling you, the skills that I have right now, I didn't have them in 2013. But 2013 got me on Facebook, got me involved in LinkedIn, got me on Instagram, and I didn't do TikTok. So I'm not a TikToker yet. I got a TikToking teenager. Well, She's no longer a teenager. My youngest daughter just turned 20 years old, but that's her generation. But listen, what are the other benefits? It opens your mind and it increases your wisdom. You know, I love the thought that wisdom is the principal thing. Everything that we're amassing, everything that we're acquiring, we got to make sure that we understand it. And then I love this also. Lifelong learning, ladies and gentlemen, it improves your memory. And as we age, as we get older, and here I am in the second half century of my life, I want to be able to maintain my memory, but I also want to increase my sense of self-worth, my sense of self-esteem. These are the benefits of continuing to learn, ladies and gentlemen. And then also have to consider the fact that it definitely creates opportunity for what? For better income. I like the old great comedic show, Living Color, where you had the two guys with the Homeboy Shopping Network. They just really just crystallized it by saying, more money, more money, more money, more money. But ladies and gentlemen, how can you make more money if you're not aware of your alternatives? So education allows us to step outside of ourselves and get in an environment where we can hear from others, because iron sharpens iron. Two is better than one. Two opinions is better than one opinion because it gives you a complete opinion. And so that is so, so very important. You know, I'm a person that I love being around deep thinkers, and I love being around people who are philosophical and philosophers. I remember when I was in my first uh, year in the university years ago, when I started out in Pennsylvania at the amazing, amazing HBCU by the name of Lincoln University. And when I was there, you know, the first class I had was a philosophy class. And I'm telling you, my philosophy teacher, he didn't look anything different than Albert Einstein. He came in there with the big gray bushy afro, so to speak. And he really opened up my ability to acquire more knowledge. And so I fell in love with deep thinkers. I fell in love with the thought of knowing more and learning more and becoming more. And so then, ladies and gentlemen, when I got involved in the industry of networking and network marketing and peer-to-peer marketing, I heard about this gentleman by the name of Eric Hoffer. Eric Hoffer, he was a social philosopher, but he was really, really popular during the 1970s here in North America, in Canada, and also in the United States. And I have adapted this particular quote of his as though it were my own, because it has brought me so much confidence in growing and learning more. And he said this, he said, in times of change, learners or the learners, they will inherit the earth, while the learned, the people that think they know everything, they will find themselves beautifully equipped. I love using the word wonderfully equipped to deal with a world that no longer exists. Ladies and gentlemen, just like the old song used to say, everything must change. Life changes. You know, I remember when I was having some conversations a couple of days ago with Mr. Marcus Brasco, and we were talking about this whole phenomena of Corona and how in the process of it being a devastating pandemic that's cost the lives of, you know, hundreds and thousands, if not millions of people around the world already. But yet, if you ascribe to the principle that all things work together for good, you can find a measure of good even in things that are not necessarily good. As a kid, I used to always hear this statement, all things work together for good. Now, that what I discovered is that they don't always feel good while they're working, but they do work together. If you believe in natural design, if you believe that there is someone bigger and better than you and I that's really giving us this amazing experience that we're having called life right now, you consider the fact that even in COVID, even in Corona, we've learned some things. And one of the things that Mr. Brasco and I were talking about how these last 6 months, ladies and gentlemen, in Corona, it has helped us to see things in the world completely differently. That's what this era has spoken of. That's what it's taught us. Yes, this is how brief it is or how long it may last. There is a such thing as the COVID era. What is it teaching us? Well, it's teaching us, ladies and gentlemen, that changes are absolutely necessary, and educational changes are necessary. Societal changes are necessary, depending on what you really think about protecting other people from your perhaps, carrying the virus, and maybe you don't know it. What do? We wear masks. That's a societal change. There are financial changes that are taking place right now. We know that our fiat currencies, whether it's the dollar, the rand, the yuan, they're losing their power. And we're entering into a new global economic age that is thrusting us into, ladies and gentlemen, a crypto world, a blockchain world. And that's why I'm so excited that we're going to hear about that from our partners today as they discuss how even educated in those matters can help people to ameliorate their living conditions. There are just so many changes, and we cannot forget the technological changes. Changes like, how about this? Now, whether you want it or not, everybody has nearly been forced to learn Zoom. We're learning Zoom. We're on Facebook. As I said, I remember when, a couple of years back, WhatsApp comes out, and then that opened up the world to us with all of our amazing business partners in Freebay all around in 149 nations. We're now on WhatsApp, and we're cutting the costs that we would have to pay if we were dealing with utility companies. And now we can just call someone that's in Cape Town, South Africa, or we can call our friends that are in Wisconsin, or we can call our friends that are in Alberta, Canada. It doesn't make a difference. But then the moment that we were used to WhatsApp, then all of a sudden Telegram comes into the play. Ladies and gentlemen, that's just the truth of the matter. We live in a different world. And our world that looks so protected and so safe and so healthy, it now looks more like this, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like the great picture of the Mona Lisa. And she has her antiseptic, and she has her toilet paper. And also she's wearing a mask. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it just tells us change is upon us. And you don't want to resist change. Change is something you must embrace. Last year, I felt like I was beginning to get a little rusty in my business. We've all been there, right? When you've gone through all of the list of people that you can personally know to call to share with them our great products and our great opportunity. And then I get a dear friend, a call from one of my best friends here in the Nashville area by the name of Hal Taylor. You all probably know Hal Taylor. He's an amazing leader. And Hal said, Patrice, man, we need to go to see Tony Robbins. And I was like, Tony Robbins? I mean, like Tony Robbins? He said, yeah. And it just dawned on me while Hal was talking to me that Hal spent over 20 years working for Tony and with Tony as a part of Tony's personal security team. And then I had an aha moment myself. I was like, yeah, that's a clue. Because knowing Hal's going to get us right up front and center with Tony Robbins. So, ladies and gentlemen, I looked up and he came here to Nashville and he was at the Gaylord Opryland Resort. And the next thing you know, I'm standing and I'm seated right before the great Tony Robbins. And he shared so many things. But I'm telling you, when it comes to continual learning, everybody knows that Tony is famous for this statement. He talks about commit to can I, which is constant and never-ending improvement. I remember when Tony Robbins first came out. To me, Tony Robbins was kind of like this guy that was on steroids, and he was a scrawny even much slender guy back in those days. And we just thought he was a wild, crazy man, only to find out that he had a secret. And the secret was always go with the changes. And he has taught us about constant and never ending improvement, ladies and gentlemen. And that is what the opportunity with the Academy could afford to people, particularly people that are novices coming into this space, this sacred space of networking, where you have the ability to just to refer refer products that everybody needs. Everybody needs money. Everybody needs gold. Everybody needs food and shelter and a better lifestyle, ladies and gentlemen. So, wow, I've met some great people in my life, and I'm telling you, I think of this other gentleman that I'm going to bring forward right now. I met him at the amazing Tennessee State University probably about 15 years ago. And I was sitting close to the stage, and right after it was over, I just walked up on the stage, and before I could greet him, he was stretching his hand out to me, ladies and gentlemen, and it was the one and the only Mr. Les Brown. And Mr. Les Brown teaches us so many amazing things also about education. And this is what he says. He quoted something that came out of a book from Bill Gates once. And I know that this is an hour for us to embrace this. This is what Les re-quoted. He said, the retraining of people on the planet, people having to reinvent themselves to become entrepreneurs, going back to the days of cottage industries, it will be the biggest budget in the century. And ladies and gentlemen, he spoke this with a great friend of mine, Mr. K. Patel from the UK, because Kay interviewed Mr. Brown like 25 years ago. And this is exactly what he said. And here we are now, ladies and gentlemen, in that new century, the 21st century. And just like a prophetic person in our age, Les Brown decreed and declared that we're now in that moment where people, yes, are having to reinvent themselves. We are all having our own personal makeovers, and that's so powerful. Wow. You know, what I love about being involved in Freebay and the former business exit is the fact that we have made so many friends from all around the world. You know, I think of my friends to the north of us here in the United States, obviously Ms. Briska King, Mr. Anthony Snowpeck, the Mexican Bruce Willis, ladies and gentlemen, and definitely Ms. Nitsa Nakos. And when I think about Canada, I think about one of the greatest leaders and one of the greatest educators from Canada. And most people will be like, okay, if you don't live in Canada, who's actually one of the greatest educators? Well, actually, this person happens to be an athlete. Happens to be an athlete. And I remember when this person first started their career in 1999, his coaches were looking at him, figuring that he's probably the smallest guy out here. He's not big in size. He's not fast. But ladies and gentlemen, that gentleman went on to become one of the greatest athletes in recorded human history. And that's none other, ladies and gentlemen, than Mr. Wayne Gretzky. And what was so amazing about Mr. Gretzky is that someone once asked him, when you get on the ice, where do you skate? And he said, listen, I skate where the puck is going to be, not where it has been. Wow. And ladies and gentlemen, he was so on point, because the truth of the matter is that all of us now know that Wayne Gretzky is the greatest hockey player ever to play the game. He won 4 Stanley Cups, ladies and gentlemen. I think he got the MVP 4 straight times, ladies and gentlemen, or 2 times, at least 2 times. He was the most important player on the ice. And this quote became something that was embraced by the global community, including a lot of CEOs and business tycoons, regardless of wherever they were from, Europe, Asia, Africa, Latin America, because when he says that what I do is I skate to where the puck is going to be. He was talking about the ability to always be moving forward and to always go into the future before the future comes. One of my greatest spiritual mentors, and I love this gentleman dearly, he embraces this idea of leading from the future. And that's what we have to do. Wayne Gretzky would get on the ice and he would actually take a time away, move away from the other players, maybe circle everyone, and really look at how the whole field of people were mapped out. And then the next thing you know, he would strategically work his way in towards the puck, and he would send an assist to someone, and the next thing you know, they had a goal. He knew how to anticipate the future. And ladies and gentlemen, education gives you the ability to do this. Think about this thing. I'm beginning to close up now, but I want you to consider this. I love this. You know, Bill Gates also said this. He said, listen, no one gets to vote on whether technology is going to change our lives. It already has. Technology has changed our lives. When I was 16 years old, I was going to high school in Pennsylvania, Swarthmore High School in Pennsylvania. I took this national test. I ended up going and studying in a border home with other talented kids from inner city locations. We ended up in Swarthmore, and that's where I got my first ATM card. I was flabbergasted because I took that card, I went up to Mellon Bank, I stuck it in the slit in the side of the ATM on the wall outside, typed in my personal ID number, and all of a sudden money shot in my hands. Ladies and gentlemen, those of us that are baby boomers, those that were born anywhere between 1946 to 1964, we have witnessed the greatest technological change just ever. We remember when phones used to have cords on them. My 20-year-old, she has no clue of that. You know, my oldest daughter, a nurse, I remember, you know, one time she was downstairs and she saw an old LP record, like LPs and 45s. And she's like, oh, wow, Dad, a Frisbee. I said, no, that's not a Frisbee. Give me my Earth, Wind, and Fire record back, ladies and gentlemen. Change is inevitable. I want you to consider this, ladies and gentlemen. I never will forget when I moved to Southern Africa in 1988. And over a 2-year period, I worked with an amazing non-government organization called Africare. I was the assistant country representative for Africare, and I was based in Mozambique, but I was right next door to South Africa. And I remember all the time that I would spend driving in my truck, going from country to country, from Zimbabwe to Malawi, to Mozambique. And ladies and gentlemen, this amazing man, he was still in prison at the time that I was in Southern Africa region. We call him affectionately, for those of us that lived in Africa or descendants of the African people, we call him Madiba, which according to the Transkei language, it means father, and it's a revered title that we give him. But this is what President Nelson Mandela said: education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. And that's the truth of the matter, ladies and gentlemen. I love the teachers. They say, you know, we touch the future. We teach. We change the world through education. Nelson Mandela comes out of nearly 30 years of unjust incarceration. And he does not hold the same bad thoughts of heart that the people that put him there in the first place. Matter of fact, he forgives them. He remembers what they did, but he forgives them. He creates the Truth and Reconciliation talks. That's a powerful form of education. Come, let us sit down and reason together. Let people have the opportunity to share what they've gone through and how it's affected them. And with that wisdom, ladies and gentlemen, he turned South Africa around and only gave them one term. And unlike most people in politics, after one term, he sat down from power. Ladies and gentlemen, that's called a leader. I want to begin to look at this final quote. I often hear one of the most amazing mentors of mine say this: those that have the opportunity to be a part of our power call, on Monday through Saturdays. Of course, the president of Wealth Builders Worldwide, Mr. Todd Best, he loves quoting this, and it's so true. Paul Zane Pilzer once said, "Your future security will only be based on the following things: your willingness to learn, your willingness to change, and your willingness to adapt." In other words, don't get stuck in the now. It's a dangerous place to be, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. I'm going to begin to wrap this up. This last story, I think that you all are going to absolutely love it because it's about someone who is so near and dear to my heart. And I know there are several people out there saying, me, me, me. I'm just kidding. But no one can touch this person because this person came into my life on January the 18th, 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my granddaughter. My granddaughter, we affectionately refer to her as Lil Boo, is becoming a celebrity of sorts on social media. Anybody out there looking for a kid that can appear in commercial ads? No, I'm just kidding. But she had an amazing encounter because she was born during the augment of COVID. It's almost like COVID kids. And I almost feel saddened by the children that were born since January of 2020, because for the most part, they have not had the opportunity to experience the outdoors. They're normally within their homes with their parents, and only time maybe going out is to perhaps for essential services or along with their parents or to get some food from the grocery store and to go back home. And so my granddaughter had the opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, last month to go to a recreational park for the very first time in her life. And I'm going to show you a before and an after picture because it just speaks volumes about what we feel about change when change is first introduced to us. And what change, when it turns out favorably for us, can actually cause us to become. So imagine my daughter arriving at this park, never having gone to the park before. The sun is out, the weather is hot, there are people all around. And so from her mother's truck, they park and they take her baby carriage and set it right in rock gravel. And the look on my granddaughter's face was like, what has this got to do with me? And ladies and gentlemen, this is how she looked. My granddaughter looked just like this. She looked humdrum. She was like thinking, oh boy, what is this all about? The park? How is the park going to add value to my life? So, ladies and gentlemen, I gave you a little definition of what it means to be humdrum. Of course, we remember it means lacking excitement. If you could just look at her face, drawn cheeks, looking straight into the camera, like, oh boy, here we go again. We got to change. We can no longer be who we were. We got to go from that to this. So it was a time where she was just dull. She was feeling monotonous, and ladies and gentlemen, it was very boring. But can I fast forward an hour and a half later, almost 2 hours later? Ladies and gentlemen, after my granddaughter had the opportunity to see the sun and to feel the wind and to meet the people and to see the little doggies in the park and to see the birds for the first time and to also see all of the other children that were being pushed just like she was in her carriage, and to be in nature of all places. We love nature. We can't wait for COVID to end, right? So we can get back to life or get to life in a new way, a new manner, or to go to the beach and not worry about the authorities coming to arrest you, and to be back in nature. Nature is the greatest educator because nature is from the Creator. And this is what Little Bo looked like after spending 2 hours in the park, she looked like this. Pharrell Williams might as well just been in the place singing happy, because she was happy, ladies and gentlemen, because she was feeling and she was showing pleasure. She was so content. She was so excited. Her cheeks began to lift up. And you might see my eyes in her eyes and maybe my nose a little bit in her nose. Oh, okay, all right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, little Boo, she went from being, or like this, I'd rather say learning. She learned that learning takes you from being humdrum to happiness, ladies and gentlemen. So all that being said, I want to thank Freebay. I want to definitely thank Mr. Jürgen Pulverman and also Mr. Norbert Tuck and all of you amazing affiliates in Freebay that have given me this opportunity just to spend a couple of moments with you today to really show you the importance, ladies and gentlemen, of us being in a place where we understand that continual learning is so important and we've got to pursue it. We've got to embrace change because change happens. That being said, what I want to do now, I want to bring back out our amazing, amazing leader, Mr. Marcus Roscoe.
Patrice, hello. Thank you for that amazing presentation. Very, very good. And really, really, I hope that everybody understands out there how important is education, how powerful is our tool, our product, the Academy. Because I think sometimes that the Academy is probably an underrated product in our system. I believe that the Academy and the education and to develop yourself is the platform what you need to become successful in every business, and especially now in our business, with all these big opportunities. I think you just brought it to the point. Education is important and never stop learning. Never stop learning. Patrice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to have you here on our call, and it was just amazing again. And you brought it really to the point. And again, we as leaders and all the affiliates out there today really have to understand, never stop learning and understand how important is education and use our product, the Academy, to develop yourself, your partners, and to reach your goals. So again, thank you, Patrice. And by the way, I love the pictures from your granddaughter. Little kids and babies are the only creature in the world. They look beautiful without teeth. You know that? it's
true.
Good. Yes, perfect.
That's true.
Thank you, Patrice.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
See you in Switzerland.
See you soon. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So that was really, really powerful. And I hope everybody could learn a little bit about the presentation from Patrice, and I hope you understand how important is education and think different about the academy, our academy, and use this product powerful. I think in your life, you have to get to the point to control, or to have the control over your life. And from my opinion, the most 3, or let me say 4 important things in your life is, number 1, your time. Time, I think, is the most important thing in our life because time never comes back. You just have it one time and use it wisely and have the control over your time. Ask yourself, do you control your time? Or is it probably sometimes other people, they control your time or tell you what you have to do with your time? Learn how to manage your time. Learn how to be successful and use it the right way. The second thing, it's your healthy. without healthy, I think nothing really matters. People, they are sick. They understand how important is healthy. And sometimes when, just in our daily life, we forget about to think the important things. And especially in this time what we have right now with the coronavirus and the pandemic all over the world, I think, because as Patrice said, we talked last week about that, this time just brought me down a little bit and let me start to think about many things different. And in every problem, there's always a solution. And I use that hard time for myself, to think about my life, to think about myself. Then the third thing, what I think is really important in our life, is to have the control about your income, to have the control about your business. Who makes the decisions in your life? Is it yourself, or again, is it other people? I think to have an opinion, it's important. Sometimes it's just sad that many people around the world don't have even an opinion. But I can tell you, opinion is okay. But a knowledge is much better than just an opinion. And many people don't understand the difference between opinion and knowledge. And I want to motivate you to get the knowledge and the control about your life. And the last thing of these four is, your family, your friends, the close circle around you, choose them wisely. So if you are under control about your time, you're healthy, your income and business, and the right people, you are independent. And I wish you to become independent. And, think different about the Academy. I think it's a very, very powerful tool to deliver the platform that everybody needs to reach their own goals. So let us continue with our training today. And as I told you already, we want to go deeper now in our partner companies and projects and products. So now it's a pleasure for me to give over to my dear colleague, because nobody can explain it better than Norbert Take. Norbert, are you ready? Please show us more details about our trading platform and academy. So please, Norbert.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I guess many of you know me already, Norbert Take. And today I want to really give you a detailed view into my tradings, into the Trader Academy. And again, I'm going to the platform Cryptobotics to show you again how to create an API, which is the connection between an exchange and Cryptobotics, because there was some demand for this. I have shown this last Wednesday, but I got several calls and emails. Please show it again, so I will do this today. And I start showing you the functions and the tools on this platform with all these robot traders, auto following, and signal trading. First, I want to start. Last Wednesday, I've shown you my screen because we talked about trading and emotions. And I showed you how important it is to trade without emotions and how important it is to learn trading. And by the way, everything I tell you today is not a financial advice, because I'm not a financial advisor. It just, when I do my trades, I show you what I have done or I will do today. But it's definitely not a financial advice. This belongs everything to my financial analysis. Last week, I've shown you, I've made a trade in front of the camera, which directly went minus because this was just a gamble trade, without any analysis, without education, without knowing what to do. Just, oh, I'm going short, boom, and made minus. And then I went into my platform I'm trading, and I showed you another trade I started a week before. And this is what I try to show you now. So looking on my screen, I share my screen with you. So I started this trade on the 8th of September. And there was a lot of minus because I showed you on the 9th, which is here, I was back in plus. It was late evening, that means here. I was back in plus, I was nearly just $22 in plus. And I told you, according to my analysis, it's going up and I will do a huge margin. And if I click just right here, you press Shift and the left button, you see, oh, it went up to 6%, which is fair in just 6 days. But what I do is I trade with leverage. This is just for professionals. Don't do this if you have no knowledge about this. So on last Wednesday I told you I will make about $400 to $600 plus in the next couple of days. And I have done this. I went out a little bit earlier than today and I made $480, which is quite nice extra money, something like this. But it's more or less to show you that the strategy works. Because I've done this deal with .2 Bitcoins. You can do it even more Bitcoins if you have it. It's just to show that the strategy works. Because if a strategy works, you can do it with .2 Bitcoins, you can do it with half Bitcoins, you can do it with $1,000 or with $5,000. It's just about strategy. And strategy is just about learning. And learning is sitting down, learning how to read the graphs, how to read the candles, how to make an analysis. And for this, we have our academy, our Trader Academy. I'm just going into a sample of our Trader Academy. It's definitely at the moment not live. When I click here, you see it's in our F booster. There's the Academy, and the Trader Academy is part of it. And there you see a lot of lessons. And there are even 2 lessons more. So in the beginning you have 12 lessons called, in general, you start in the cryptocurrencies. And you really learn it from scratch. And at the end, you can trade and you will make an exam. And if you just see this picture, it starts here, the basic principles of cryptocurrency. It will be nicer when we start officially on 1st October. There will be pictures inside and so on, that it's easy to find. It's not just text, there will be nice pictures. But for example, you can view these lessons. And then at the moment, you will then see a movie, which is 19 minutes long. And it started with Freebay Academy. And there you'll see the speaker. And he is your host in this academy. And this guy is called Mark Edward Lewis. You can Google his name, but please Google for Mark Lewis Trader, because there are also a Chinese scientist with the same name. But when you see this, he has his own, let's say, YouTube channel. He's relatively famous, and he has his own YouTube channel for trading advices. And we really start from scratch. What is money? What is digital money? To show you the difference about this. Then also what is, let's say, Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies in general. You will really learn it. And this is, some people would say, I know this. Of course, you think you know this. But there's always some facts you haven't known, or you will just be remembered. Because it's really important to know what is money and all these other facts you will get. Because this leads you at the end to the exam, that you will pass the exam, and that you can make your own trades. If you have seen this movie, for example, this is more than 19 minutes long, and you always can stop, and with this click here on the right down corner, back to chapter overview, you click here, you are back in the General Trader Academy. And you will see everything. Lesson 2, how do we get cryptocurrency? Some people who have never worked with cryptocurrencies, just heard about Bitcoin, Ethereum, but have none of these coins. You will learn here how to buy them and how to use them. Then a crypto market research is done. That means there are more than 2,500 cryptocurrencies in the world at the moment. Some are good, some are bad, some are useful, some are useless. You will get an overview how this market also will develop in the next couple of months and years. And then we start about talking about trading platforms, because there are so many platforms. For example, crypto robotics is connected with the most famous 10 exchanges, but there are a lot of exchanges. So here you will get shown, which is good, which is useful, which is easy to use, which is hard to use. And then also about going further, learning about trading. What types of trading are there? There's fundamental trading and technical analysis. For example, I do technical analysis, and this is also what we advised here in this academy. Because fundamental trading is that you take care about the history of a coin, what's done with this coin, how is the coin used, and so on. This is fundamental trading. It's like stocks. When you see Apple and you don't make technical analysis and just reading the charts, that you get news about Apple or the company you are interested in, news about the revenue they are doing, let's say, prognose what's coming in the next years, what products they are producing. Are these products useful in future, or do they rely on patterns which are decades old? This is fundamental trading. And technical analysis is just reading the charts and do your analysis. And this is, I think, the most common form of trading. And as it fits best to cryptocurrencies, because in cryptocurrencies you don't have so many fundamental data, because cryptocurrencies are so new. There are no historical data decades or even centuries old. You just do technical analysis, because it's also, let's say, the easiest way to trade. And then also talking about robots, money management. This is also, if you make money with trading, how to handle this money. And then, for example, at the end, number 12, how do we know when we get in and get out? This is also very, very important, because many people trade and say, oh, I want to step in because it's getting cheaper and I want to do a long, so I bet on higher courses, but it's not betting, it's just like what you see in the chart. And it's really important, if you know how to get in and how to get out, then you make real money, because then you don't waste money or you don't waste an opportunity. And I just show you on lesson 8, for example, just go into lesson 8. And I just jumped into this movie, because here you will be shown what is a chart, how to read a chart, how to read the indices, how to read different forms of indices. And it's really, it looks complicated when you see this, but for this is a trading academy. You learn it. If you start with this lesson, you will definitely stop it right now, because you will not understand anything if you are a beginner. But if you start from lesson 1 and go to lesson 2, lesson 3, up to lesson 8, then you will understand what Mark is talking about. And it's easy to learn. So this is really important, to go through the academy lesson by lesson by lesson. And even if you're not a beginner, please start from the beginning, because something you've learned and you will remember. This is also important. Every time I go to a seminar, every time I go to a training, sometimes I know 50% already, but it's always the other 10, 20, 30% I do not know. Or I just remembered, oh, I've learned this 10 years ago, I remember. And when you remember what you have learned, this is also very important, because then you are getting more secure. And this is everything here in trading is, you must be sure what you are doing. I will just go out on this video, go back to the academy. With this academy, at the end, you will be sure what you are doing. Of course, you will make mistakes. Believe me, I have lost money. It's even I've lost money. Even in the beginning of this year, I lost a huge amount of money because I made a wrong analysis. This could happen. And then I went back, and also I went back to my lessons. And I said, wow, damn, I've made a mistake because I read this candle wrong. And then again, I started new. And then I started a new strategy, and my strategy with a small amount, just to be sure my strategy is correct. That's all about. Your strategy has to be correct. And you have to test it with small amounts, many, many, many times. And when you are sure, wonderful, now it works, then you can increase the amount because you are sure and you know what you are doing. This is the same with the trade I have done last week. I was more than $300 in minus, but I didn't get nervous. I had my emotions under control because I knew with the new strategy, with small amounts, I was sure it's getting up and up and up, and at the end, I went into plus, and after 5 days, I made my $480. It's not about the amount. If I would have done this deal with $100,000, it would have been then $4,800. No, even more, $48,000, sorry. So it's not about the money you invest, it's first about the strategy. If your strategy is correct and you are sure it works, then you can increase the amount. But also the next advice, if you start trading, let's say with $1,000, always use between 5 and 10% of this amount to trade. Not the $1,000, not $500. If you have $1,000 in your wallet, start trading with $100. One trade, $100. Because you can be wrong. And maybe your emotions are overwhelming you and just click, bam, sell. Or if you have been short, buy. Then you might lose $5, you might lose $10, you might lose $20, but not $100 and not $500 and even not $1,000. This is when you start, only 5 to 10% of the amount. This is not a financial advice, this is advice from myself. Do it only with 5 and 10%, even professional traders, it will recommend this. If you don't want to trade because you have seen the lesson 8 and this graph and all these explanations from Mark and, no, it's too uncomplicated, then you can go and use robot trading. The robot trading is with our partner company, Crypto Robotics. I just go into this screen right now, and here you see the Crypto Robotics main screen. And here you have different, I have an account, I have a test account. But first, I'd like to show you how easy it is to connect this platform with an exchange. It's really easy. I have shown this last Wednesday, but I will show it again right now. First, you go into the exchange, your choice. My choice was Binance. So you see here now the screen of my Binance account. You see, for test purposes, I have $720 at the moment in my wallet. And it's really easy. You just click on your, let's say, settings. Here you see API management. You click on API management because API is the connection, it's an interface between, in this case, Crypto Robotics with Binance. We give this API key a label. I just will call it Crypto Robotics. Crypto Robotics. Wonderful, that's all. And then just say create. I have to give in my Google authentication node, and an email will be sent to my email address I'm registered. So I'm going into my email right now. You can see it because I will definitely change everything after this course. Here you will get the number 991556. So I copy here 991556. The Google authenticator code, which is 717. Submit. Oh, I have made wrong. I haven't made copy paste. 991556. Oh, 991555. 99155. This was the old one. 567371. 567371. 47 seconds left. Boop. Yes, sorry for this. This was an old mail for my last try. And here you see now the API keys. This is the main key. This is the secret key. The secret key is something like a security code if you lose the main API key. Then you go back to Crypto Robotics, and then you see right in the corner, manuals. These are a lot of videos. These are a lot of handbooks. They are really, really good in the back office that they declare everything. And here you see the point exchanges. You click here, and then you see a lot of exchanges which can be connected with Crypto Robotics. I have chosen Binance. Binance is here. Binance integration. You will see a movie. If you do not follow me right now, you will see a movie. I click away because we don't want to watch this movie. And now we have to connect the Binance API with Crypto Robotics. For this, we just click here, and you see I'm already, and go to Exchange accounts, and you see I have already an API with my favorite exchange platform, which is Bitfinex. But we have to add a new, because here we are working with Binance. So I just say add a new account. Here you can see and choose Binance. And here in the next line, you have to copy and paste the API key. The API key, you find it here. Just done. Just created on Binance. You can use the copy button or just string C. I always use string C and copy it inside here. Then, in the second row, the secret key. Go back to Binance, copy the secret key, copy and paste into Crypto Robotics, secret key. Then, description. In this case, I call it Binance test. Just add, and you got a new one. Now, Binance, as you see here, is now connected with Crypto Robotics. Very, very easy. Even my 82-year-old mother has done this, because I showed her cryptocurrency, how to do it, blah, blah, blah. She has her own wallet. Even she can do it. And now we just go into algo trading. This is over here. Algo trading, you'll see a lot of robots. Today I will not declare the difference of these robots, but I'd like to show you how easy it is to install them or to use them. For this, you can have a look. You see a detailed description of every robot. What is he trading? Which pairs is he trading? Stop loss, how you can make it or set it. But please do not, let's say, change the stop losses or any other parameters if you're not sure and not a professional. You just click on Go to My Robots, and then you see all the robots which are for you available, depending on your package. Small one, 4, the big one, 8. And then you see different robots. You have read them before, what they are inside or not. And you see, I always use them with Bitfinex. Now I want to show you this here one and connect them with Binance. You can have a test mode. A test mode is, it's just like run it in a test mode, in a demo mode. Then you will see how it works, how the robot works. If you say, oh, the robot is working well, then you can go into work mode. This is what I just do. And here you can set settings. What you can do is, for example, this is very easy, make it conservative, choose moderate or risky. If you want to know what conservative is, just click here on the question mark and you see a description how the different types are, let's say, done by parameters. Which parameters are behind each choosable strategy. You also can go into manual settings. Here you really can set stop loss or set take profit. But as I told you, don't do this if you're definitely not a professional, if you doesn't have passed the test or the exam at the end, then you definitely will lose money if you do this. So for the beginners, just use the preset strategy. I have chosen Binance because I have now a Binance. The key is named Binance test. And I don't know what I have inside BTC or UTC. I try to have to look at it. And here you see I have USDTs, and I can choose up to 69, which is just right free. Let's say I will do total balance. I'm using, just for test purposes, $30, $29, $30 for test purposes. And my trading lot size is $4. That means, sorry, $3. That means each trade I do now is $3, which is definitely not really recommended because you have to pay some fees, not on this platform, but every trade results in some fees. But this is just for showing purposes. And you say risk management, stop and sell, you click on risk management here. Stop and sell, that means if the balance loss is 2%, that means, for example, the robot starts as $10,000 Bitcoin course, and it's going down 2%, the trade is automatically closed. Then you have a loss of 2%, which is definitely not much. This is just risk management that you don't lose money too much or too often, because it starts several deals. And then I just can say, edit robot. Oh, I have to select the trading pair also. Sorry for this. There are a lot of trading pairs. Of course, in Binance, you can trade a lot of pairs. The thing is, there are some recommended and also not recommended. Recommended means these are cryptocurrencies which are traded not so often or not very much, and they don't have high volume. And it's not recommended that you trade these pairs because they are extremely volatile. And it's definitely not really easy to calculate because robots just do technical analysis. I always choose, when I do trading, I use, let's say, well-known pairs. That means BTC, of course, BTC against Tether or US dollar or Tether. Then what I also do like is Dash, which is well-known. I like EOS also, and Ethereum also, Ethereum and EOS. These are the pairs I like to trade. Then I say save. Up. Amount of order can't be less than 15. Okay, sorry for this. This is a trading lot size, has a minimum, but this is just for testing purposes. Don't do this. And now it starts to trade. It can open 2 orders because I have here 30 US dollars. Each trading lot size is now $15, which is definitely not recommended. Here, this is just for testing purposes. And then you press on launch, and it starts. And you just have to wait until it starts trading. And this is what you can do with every robot here right now. This is now launched. It stopped, everything else is stopped. You can also use this one, manage, put into work mode, go into settings, Binance, I have US dollars. I can take also, because at least I have 100 here. I will not take another, let's say 50. as a trading lot size has to have minimum 15, I put in 15, which is not recommended in this case. I make it risky in this case, just for testing purposes, and choose the pairs. Oh, Bitcoin Cash, I will choose BTC, I will choose Dash, and just start trading. Boop. Launch it, and that's all. It's really easy. I recommend not to go into this site every day. You can do it, of course, but sometimes it's getting down, and it takes time that it's getting again up. It's an algorithm which is running and working, and of course you can watch this every day if you want, but I do not recommend this. I do it once a week. This is what I do, because I have my main account combined with Bitfinex. I have around $850, $900 in there, and it's just running. I just stopped it right now, but usually it's just let it run, let it run, let it run. Also, you have it great, as you see all these manuals. I'm going back to these manuals. Here you can see movie how to make it 2FA. How to order if you want to make your trades on your own, because you also can make real trades here. How to set orders, how to make notifications, alerts. You can get alerts. That means if a course is getting down or up in a certain range, you will get some noises on your mobile or whatever that you are really, that you realize, oh, my trade is going to the end or is going to a certain point, I have to buy and sell. Then also the robots are declared and so on. It's really like you can have a lot of movies, top robots, everything is really in detail declared on this page that it's really easy to use. Also, with signal trading, here you follow signals. Different signals done either by robots or by real persons. And here you see different numbers of followers, different numbers of total profits. The profit is not done in 1 week. It's, let's say, done over the whole time this trader or robot delivers signals. You can follow here. You can just subscribe and follow this trader, and also auto-following. I haven't done this yet. I will start using this during this week, how it's working. Also, these are also either real traders or robots, which you can follow, and then you do automatically these trades with the others are doing. That means if Jerry is doing a trade on the right corner, if Jerry is doing a trade, you are doing a trade. This is also very simple. You always have to keep in mind it's not a robot, it's a human person, which can definitely make errors. Though if this guy makes losses, you make losses. And always keep in your mind, trading can make losses. Either you trade on yourself or you give the money to robots, they can make losses because trading is always risky. There can always be, let's say, an unexpected stuff happen in the market which, let's say, breaks all your calculations. They make all your calculations, analyzes to zero, and the market is going down, even if it's not expected. This can happen. This is how I also lose some money sometimes. But overall, it's more like this. If you make 50 trades, or if the robot makes 50 trades, and 20 are in minus, and 30 are in plus, then you are in plus with 10 trades, and then you are in overall plus. This is just something like when you have the possibility, and it's just a possibility calculation. Trading is possibility calculation. How possible is it's going up or it's going down? And if the possibility that it's going up is higher than it's going down, either you, or I do it, or even the robot, is then going long. That means it sets on increases courses, because just a possibility. And this is all what is done with this case. For today, I'm finished for this short overview. Later, I will go back in a second training. I will go deeper into each robot to declare to you. But today, I think it was full and enough informations. I hope you had fun. It was not too dry. And I wish you all the best. And for this evening, I say back to Marcus. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Norbert. Fantastic presentation. And I think more and more people will understand now how to use our trading robots and also the whole platform. Thank you again, Norbert. So for today, thank you being on our call. Let me just say something very important. Tomorrow, 16th of September, you have the opportunity on Freebay to start already with buying our packages. So tomorrow will be the credit card be in place. So from tomorrow on, you can buy all the packages with the credit card. But you have to understand the access to all the products inside the packages you will get on the 1st of October. Okay, so tomorrow you already can start to buy the packages, but the access to the academy, to the trading platform, you will have after the 1st of October. And also the time for the packages, so if you buy, for example, 1 month, starts on the 1st of October, or if you buy the 12 months packages, starts on the 1st of October. So from tomorrow on, you can also pay with credit card. And please make sure you read all the newsletter and all the information and details in our back office, and also join and look at our Facebook page, Instagram, and also Telegram, that you are always up to date. So for today, it was again an amazing training session. And thanks to all the leaders and to all the Freebay members to support us and to make that happen. Last but not least, on Thursday this week, so after tomorrow, we have another training session, and I think many of you are waiting for this. On Thursday, we will show you more details about the V999. We have the honor to present someone from our partner company who will talk about the V999 token. He will go in details, and I'm pretty sure you are already waiting for this training session. So please share that information with all your team members. Thursday, 8 p.m. CET, again, we will start with our trainings. You will get the link as usual on our Facebook page and also in the Telegram group 4 hours before we start. So at 4 p.m. you will have the link, and this you can share with all your team members, affiliates, or also people that are interested. On Thursday, we get more details about the V999 token from our partner company. And we have an amazing speaker on this event. He is one of the project managers in this project, and it's Professor Dr. Uschik, and I just can tell you, you don't want to miss this training session on Thursday. I had a long call with him today, and what he will show us on Thursday, it's just fantastic and amazing. So please share that with all your team members. Can't wait till Thursday to get all the details about the V999 from our partner company. And for today, I want to say thank you joining us on the call, and I wish you all the best. Have a great day, have a great time, and we see us in 2 days, 8 p.m. here on this YouTube channel. So from my side, thank you. You're Markus Bratschko. Looking forward to see you in 2 days. Goodbye.